Hi, and welcome back to the Learn, Share, and Grow series, Brain Development Basics. I'm Mary Quest, the content coordinator for Town Square at Erickson Institute, and this is part 3 in the series, which is going to give a summary kind of overview of what brain research has revealed about how early experiences influence brain development. So, first is to recognize that either positive or negative experiences are going to influence the developing brain, and that over time, um, those connections are going to form and create strong patterns. So, it's really best to set up positive, healthy experiences and patterns early. Because of the number of connections that young children are forming, the density of connections is so great. Children tend to be less efficient than when they are older. So it's important to be patient. Those positive connections eventually will be the strong, staying connections. And the ones that are not used will be pruned, they'll wither away and ultimately make for a faster, more efficient brain. But in the meantime, children are slow. And so understanding that that's part of the process of really establishing those strong positive connections is really important. Practice is what really helps develop and create those strong connections. And so, if you find yourself offering the same activity again and again, or reading the same book over and over, it is actually part of the process of creating those strong positive pathways through the connections between the brain cells. And so, um, just know that children are going to seek out the same kinds of things over and over again because practice is really what makes those connections strong. Children really need a range of different types of experiences with a variety of things in order to stimulate connections in the brain at the right time. So it's important to follow the child's lead. Children, in my experience, I have found, tend to seek out the kinds of experiences that they need at the time. And you want to foster those experiences at the time when their brain is looking for it and ready for it. Language is probably the best documented example for critical periods in brain development. Babies and young children really have to be exposed and involved in a language rich environment and with relationships that are including practicing the back and forth exchange of language in order to most fully develop language. Relationships with the important people in their lives are a main factor in the way in which connections are being made in the brain. So, experiences with real things that include social interaction with those people involved in those strong relationships are going to have the biggest impact in terms of brain development. Self regulation develops as positive connections are formed, and these take practice and these take time. Supporting appropriate emotional responses, so maybe over and over again saying and doing the same thing patiently, can help children with developing self regulation. Thank you for joining me for the series on brain development basics. Some great resources can be found here on this slide, particularly the 0 to 3 baby brain map and the developing child site from Harvard. Those links offer further information about brain development, and they're also done in interactive formats. And so if you're interested in more information, any of these resources can be very helpful. Thanks again for joining me for this Learn, Share, and Grow series at Town Square.